Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. I'm your host, Larry Caution, joined as I am each and every week by co-host Calvin Thomas, Justin B. the Barber Harris. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
Seen better days.
I think we all have in more ways
Times
than
two.
one. Yeah, we appreciate you all tuning in tonight for another edition. We thank you all for everything, all the kind words that was said last week. Me and Calvin previewed the Ravens Steelers game. A lot of good comments came through. Unfortunately, a lot of them were fruitless and came back with no results. But we're going to discuss that in great detail. Unfortunately, I'm a bit under the weather tonight. Uh, Whatever Justin had last week, he didn't pass it to me through the airways because we haven't seen each other. But there's a dangerous flu going on around. So stay healthy, everybody, and get yourself hydrated and wash your hands, do all that good
Wash
stuff.
your abs too.
Yeah, that always helps. But we got a lot to cover tonight. Please do us a great favor. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Facebook, hit that like, that share button. Let's get the word out. We're here live, discussing everything that needs to be discussed. I know a lot of things have been said over the last few days. A lot of comments have been made on social media, and I know some people are looking forward to me clarifying a few things that I've said. And I'm going to do just that, right here on this very program. But before we get too deep into that subject, let me just quickly let you all know this is a strictly football show tonight. Getting ready for the college playoffs, which start tomorrow, as well as the NFL playoffs that start this weekend. So we'll get into some NBA stuff. A lot of games tonight in the NBA.
5 straight days.
Yeah, a lot of games going on. So some good stuff. Wemby and LeBron play tonight. I don't know if Braun's playing. I think Braun might
Ron
be.
not playing.
Yeah, he ducked it. No back to backs, but Braun been heating. So we're going to talk about NBA. We're going to have plenty of time the next couple months to get deep into the NBA season. But right now, playoffs are warming up, so that's what we're going to start tonight. And there's no better place to start than what we saw very quickly. Look, the NFL playoffs are set. The 7 teams in the AFC, 7 teams in the NFC, and neither of them include our teams. That's right. You all know if you follow us here, Get Off the Damn Fence. Me and Calvin are Ravens fans. Calvin is also a Cowboy fan, and Justin is our Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. And unfortunately, even though we predicted that all our teams would make the playoffs except for the Cowboys, nobody had any hope for them. But none of that came true. And we're gonna go over our preseason predictions, and then we had a chance at the midseason to make some adjustments, and we'll look at who was right, who was wrong. We'll get into that in more detail. But right off the bat, the Ravens played the Pittsburgh Steelers last weekend with an opportunity that the winner would be the fourth seed in the AFC host a playoff game on Monday night against Houston Texans after the Texans secured their final spot as the fifth seed. And it was very simple: win and you're in. You know what I mean? Everything else was set up. You have a home playoff game. Everything that you failed in early in the season wouldn't matter. Just win the game and you're in. We heard that Lamar Jackson would be starting early in the week. That was set up after Tyler Huntley went into Green Bay, got a big victory, setting up this last week of the season showdown. The Pittsburgh Steelers had wet the bed against the Cleveland Browns, scoring only 6 points. But all the Ravens had to do was win in Pittsburgh, a place that has traditionally been very difficult for Lamar Jackson. But I will say, Lamar did what he needed to do in the fourth quarter to put the team in the position to get a victory in Pittsburgh and secure that fourth seed in the AFC playoffs. And unfortunately, it came down to a last second kick by the rookie, Tyler Luke. If you follow us on social media, I'm sure that Justin is someone you follow, and he made a very, very, very astute proclamation before the season started. Justin, what was your thoughts on your prognostication and how it came true?
It's nothing too crazy about it. Long story short, you're dealing with a situation where you had a playoff-ready team, especially in the beginning of the season, and you're putting a lot of hopes and prayers within a rookie field goal kicker. And I know a lot of people say, well, we had one before. It's not too many Justin Tuckers. That's why he was one of one. And that's why he's different. So I was wondering if this young kid could do the same thing that Justin did. And I went the opposite way. I didn't think that he could. And lo and behold, he definitely shanked it. So it is what it is. I had no room to brag today. So it is what it is.
I mean, this is number one.
Yeah, so Tyler Luke, was set up. And there's a lot of debate that, the Ravens had one timeout. They had a little time on the clock. Should they run another play? It was 12 seconds. Should they run another play to get a little closer? Calvin, I'll let you answer that question. What's your thoughts?
40-yard field goal nowadays is a chip shot in the league. I don't want to take any additional snaps, especially with that offensive line giving up whatever they wanted to against the Steelers defensive line. You put the ball where Luke wanted it in the center and in the middle of the field. You gotta make that kick. No, I don't run another play.
Guys,
too many different things can go wrong.
Football is a game of inches. We all know that.
He missed wide right, wasn't close.
If you watched early in the game, the Ravens were up 7-0. They kicked a field goal from just outside of what was about 44, something like that.
Inside of 45 there.
He barely made it inside the left upright. The left upright.
Yeah, because the wind
it almost went wide left.
Opposite
so they set him up in the middle. He goes wide right. You can't make it up. He barely made it to the left. So okay, he overcorrects himself because he said, okay, I want it in the middle because the ball was set up on the left hash. And he went 2 left. I put it in the middle. You go 2 right. He choked. Call it what it is. He choked. And it's okay. You're a rookie. I never expected. Look, I was watching the game with my uncles and a lot of people who've been watching football a very long time. And my cousin Bunny said, all season, this is a saying, oh, we can get rid of Tucker. We got that boy. Luke, there it is. Every time he would kick a field goal, somebody say, hey, Bunny, Luke, there it is. And then it would go in or whatever like that. So on that first kick, when he kicked it, he said, Luke, there it is. I said, he missed it. They like, no, it went in. They like, it's good. I'm like, that was close. That's going to come back to bite us. And unfortunately, it did. But let me say this. And I've heard a lot of different thoughts on this. The Ravens defense is the reason why we lost this game. There's no other way to put it, man. Y'all can say what you want to say about the offense, about whatever. When you get 2 fourth-quarter touchdown passes by Lamar Jackson, it gives you a 4-point lead, and you got Aaron Rodgers without DK Metcalf, with nominal weapons, Pat Freiermuth, and like, come on, man. And you got Marlon Humphreys. Look, I get it. Y'all can say whatever you want. The Steelers' weapons had no business putting up as many yards as they did against this quote-unquote vaunted Ravens secondary. Now, I will say, once Kyle Hamilton went out the game,
defense changed.
The whole defense changed.
Yeah.
But we don't ever use excuse of injury, do we? We don't use the excuse of injury. So let's not talk about that because they didn't have that number 1 receiver. We didn't have our number 1 DB. It's a wash. So at the end of the day, Marlon Humphrey, you're supposed to be a Pro Bowl corner, was getting smoked all night. Nate Wiggins, you're a top draft pick. What happened? Awuzie, big offseason pickup. It's no excuse to lose your feet. Oh, he slipped. No, you got double moved. Call it what it is. Call it what it is.
The slip. Yeah. He didn't set his feet right at all. It was not a slip. It was
the knees buckled.
He got broke down in coverage. Yeah.
Like,
undressed.
and even the fact that you had no safety help over the top, that's a bad
Yeah.
defensive call.
What do you? Why are you reacting like that when they need a touchdown? But I'm gonna bite on the
Thank
end route.
you. If you any other time they play that stupid prevent defense, now y'all want to go cover one when you know they need a field goal can't beat you. They got no timeouts. Keep everything in front of you. Nothing cheap, nothing deep. Like, what are we doing here? That's on you, or that's on you. Look, man, I'm sorry. The defense squandered this game, and at the end of the day, the kicker was the scapegoat. It is what it is. Your thoughts, Cal?
Look, they had their opportunities, and even Chris Boswell tried to give them the game by missing an extra point on that second touchdown.
Mhm.
You ask Lamar Jackson to show up in the fourth quarter of a big game, he check mark. You ask Derrick Henry to provide run support, check mark. How many carries did Derrick Henry have in the second half? Why would they? Why did time of possession go to Pittsburgh and they were out rushed? Like, these numbers don't make sense.
Well, to be fair, when Derrick Henry was getting the ball, they were shutting him down in the second half.
So
they had to pass the ball.
But we only had 4 carries. Like, he had a handful of carries.
Remember, we only had 2 drives. It was run, pass.
You're right.
Run, pass. That's
however,
4 carries.
However, where was this offense? Now, granted, you had this great defensive stand in the first half. You go in the halftime with the lead. They come out the second half with the ball. It's a really grounded out game into that fourth quarter where you get 4 touchdowns in 3 or 4 minute span,
on
roughly
big plays. How could you run
and
the ball if you scored on big long passes?
And even your last drive, Keaton Mitchell put you at the 50. So you're damn near in field goal.
You couldn't get nothing.
No. I'm saying on when they scored last and they had that kickoff return and Keaton Mitchell get you to the 50.
I agree with you. And the Ravens did nothing with it. Is what I'm saying.
You had the one play likely on 4th and 7.
The penalty wiped out the other play because Stanley went illegal procedure. Wasn't lined up on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it wiped out a big play.
So everybody saying Derrick Henry didn't get his carries. Derrick Henry got the ball on 1st and 2nd down. On 3rd down, Lamar had to pass and he passed. The Steelers had time of possession the whole 3rd quarter. They basically, the Ravens went an hour of real time without the ball on the field.
Yeah, the offense. Yeah.
That's on the defense.
I'll also say, I haven't said this all year long. You've said it. Where's your middle linebacker?
I've been said that.
Roquan was absent. Go back and look at Roquan's missed tackles. Look at him getting pushed off the ball. And this is your middle linebacker. This is supposed to be the 2nd best middle linebacker in the game next to Fred Warner. Didn't show it to me. He can't make open field tackles on a Jalen Warren. He breaks the tackle, gets 15 yards on a crucial 2nd down. It was frustrating to watch. I said last week, the way this team was constructed, the talent that they have, they would either win by 20 or barely lose. And what happened? They barely lose. They were the more talented team. You had to have Lamar and Derrick Henry basically go off in order to keep you winning because your defense couldn't hold water. Now you want to say they were tired, whatever the case may be. That you had this great stand at the end of the first half, and that momentum did not carry over. It was a terrible call by Pittsburgh, in my opinion, to where you try to out leverage, but it's 2-on-1. Didn't understand the call, but you make a play. You make a play at the end of the first half, that momentum doesn't carry over, and then we go all the way to the end where you're given a chance to win the game, not tie, to win because they missed the extra point after scoring a touchdown. Chris Boswell is going to be the GOAT. Everything they're saying about Tyler Luke is going to apply to Chris Boswell. If Tyler Luke makes that field goal, and what happens? We know what happens from that point.
Justin, you got anything to add?
No, I mean, y'all pretty much covered a lot. I just seen a stat when I was getting my notes ready and things. According to Next Gen Stats, the top 2 people that give up the most defensive back pass yardage,
Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey,
and Nate Wiggins.
I saw that.
You can't win like that. That means nobody is afraid of you. That's what that means.
The stat is skewed in my opinion to an extent because I think number 1 was Denver's other corner, and Denver has one of the top defenses.
No, number 1 was Marlon.
Maybe it was number 2 then. Well,
you know why? You know why though, right?
Because of the pass rush on top of it.
Well, yeah, of course.
And pass was hand on the other side.
Yeah, no, because Marlon
Oh, you talking
Mullins
about
plays
you
on
talking
the
about
right.
Ravens.
Nate plays on the right. Who's your safety on that side?
Who Starks?
No, Starks on the left.
What are you saying?
You said they give up the most pass yards, right?
They're top
Top
5.
two.
No, they're not top 2.
That's the one I'm saying. Is
No,
top two.
because the one I saw, like one was 4, and I thought one was 2. I thought number 1 was.
I can put it in
Denver's
the
2.
chat. It's not
Because they left on the island is the point. Kyle Hamilton is always down in the box. Kyle Hamilton is always up playing the run or
They don't
playing
have
the
no
short.
show coverage.
They don't have nobody over the
coverage.
top.
Mhm.
On the other side is where you got your deep safety plan, and they always shade to a Woozier side. It happened all the time. And then you saw, look, I like Darius Washington, but he got smoked on Sunday too. Was out of position, didn't play anything smart. And then when you have no playmakers up front, none, like none, zero, like Kyle Van Noy. We talked about his resurgence last year. All right, he's done. All right, let's move on.
What about Slim that left? The guy traded.
Jair.
Now he got like 10 sacks.
Oweh did well in Los Angeles.
Playing with the Chargers.
But I also think it helped that he had other pass rushers to play
He's
alongside.
playing opposite Khalil Mack.
Exactly. When you got other guys that can command a double team, you can't double team him. Not that he commanded a double team for Baltimore, but I think not having Metabike hurts. You know what I mean? Like, it's other things. That's the reason why your middle linebacker is not as effective, because your defensive line not effective. And when they can get to the second level, you said that Roquan missed a lot of tackles. I look at more at how many times you saw double guards on them, how many times you saw tackles getting to the second level, because they had no fear of our defensive line. There's no fear. So no. Look, guys, a lot of this is going to be spent talking about what the offense and what Lamar don't do and this and that. The real problem with the 2025 Baltimore Ravens, from the beginning to the end, they had a nice little stretch where the defense turned it around against bad teams. Look at the teams they were playing when they turned it around. But for the most part, when we had the tough part of the schedule, the Buffaloes, the Detroits, the Houstons, all those, the name Kansas Cities, name the team. When we had to play playoff competition, the defense got shredded every time. The Cincinnati's, the Pittsburghs twice. Like, it's no excuse. And that's not what this team is built on. Which leads me to, after all of that, the news of the week is John Harbaugh gets fired. Look, I will be the first to say, if I was going to fire John Harbaugh, I would have fired John Harbaugh after that New England Patriots game. Immediately after the game, he would have not even made, but y'all was at home with a 11-point lead in the fourth quarter, and Derrick Henry's on the sideline with a coat on. I'm firing John Harbaugh. If it's Todd Monken's fault, he can go with him at that point. But when you, after that game, go into Green Bay with Tyler Huntley, get a big win, and set yourself up for a game-winning field goal in Pittsburgh, they make it to the playoffs, I can't really say that's the coach's fault. I can't. That's all I'm saying to people. I emotionally reacted, said, he got to go. I was pissed. But y'all know me. I'm a rational
So you're saying you
person.
didn't want him to go at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, I don't think it was necessary. I'm going to stand by that. Look.
So you walked it back?
No, I told you. My post was emotionally charged.
So you posted. It was.
I'm talking about right now, not the
now
post.
that you're changing your mind, so you walked it back.
No. I said I would have fired him after the New England game, but because you let him stay, it's like if I have a bad game and then we make the playoffs and we go on a run, would you have still fired him for what he did in the New England game? No, you saw results. I don't think he did anything to finish the season that was warranted him not getting another opportunity to coach his team. Now, apparently, there were other issues on why they felt they needed to fire him. And I don't think
that's trying to leak out.
I don't know this guy. Stop putting this stuff on the screen while I'm talking. Anyway, if you want to fire somebody, you fire them after you feel like, hey, you did this, get rid of them. Don't wait. What are you
still haven't answered the question.
What? I answered the question.
No. You said you walked it back. How about now?
I wouldn't have fired him. I told you that. I said that.
Okay.
Here's my question, and I still want you to tell me the answer to this question because you haven't given me an answer. Because I told you,
What's
and then
the
you're
question?
gonna go put it on your Facebook like it was your original thought or something. I said John Harbaugh gonna go take the Atlanta Falcons, and he gonna
No.
go.
I said that first.
No, you didn't. You came in the text because I saw you when you posted it after we talked about it in the text message. You tried to steal what I said.
I said that first.
He gonna be. No, you didn't. I got the timestamp. I did it.
We can go back and look at that.
You took my thought and then went and put it on your Facebook, and I said, "Look at this nigga here. They gonna go take my thought."
We
and
go
act
back.
like-
And then people was commenting on what Calvin said. Yeah, that's a good idea. Calvin, that was a
You
good
saw
idea.
it too, Justin. Didn't you? I said the Falcons. This
No.
nigga don't
I
really
said that
front
first.
no
Maybe you ain't read it first.
Bruh.
Somebody said
Bruh.
Giant.
Are
Somebody
you
said
kidding me?
nah.
Are you kidding me?
Nah.
Anyway, I said John Harbaugh gonna go to the Atlanta Falcons, and that team gonna win before the Ravens at this rate. That's what I said. Because if you look at the roster, everybody want to say Harbaugh. We just talked about what the defense was comprised of. No pass rush. When the last time the Ravens addressed the pass rush situation? Eric DeCosta. When's the last time the Ravens actually went out there and got a real playmaker at receiver in free agency that could change anything? You draft this Zay Flowers, and thankfully he's worked out. But y'all know he was undersized. Y'all know he's not built like a number one. When was the last time this team has actually put some firepower out there that you would be like, oh, we good to go? You're probably going to lose likely. You signed Andrews to an extension, which a lot of y'all don't like. You went out there. You got no offensive line. You probably won't pay Linderbaum because he up and down too. You tell me.
I'm not overpaying them. Yeah.
You tell me, is this team a coach away from winning the Super Bowl? If they don't win a Super Bowl, what was the point? What was the point? You telling me that this roster, who we all, I can pull a slide up, we all picked them to go to the Super Bowl. All three of us did.
Yeah.
Off the strength of what? Lamar Jackson.
What
Exactly.
you mean?
But at the end of the day,
I'm
it's
saying
bigger than
Lamar
Lamar
make sure
Jackson.
got the shit. We had that conversation.
And he's never been able to make sure got shit into a Super Bowl. That's the point. So as a team builder, you got to look at more than just Lamar going to make sure got a shit. You got to look at how about get me some pass rush? How about going to get me somebody besides DeAndre Hopkins who barely in the game plan for whatever reason. Maybe he not getting no separation, whatever. The offensive line who was getting Lamar hurt and banged up all year. No matter what y'all say, man, this is not a coach away. This is not one move away. This team is not that good. So to take, oh, John, it was time to go. His voice wasn't being heard. How about the players just need to step up and have some accountability? Your field goal kicker, Justin just started off by saying you're putting a lot in the hands of a rookie kicker. Whose decision was that? They didn't have to cut Justin Tucker. They could have suspended him. He could have paid out his suspension.
Yeah, you
and they
walking
could
that
have brought
back
him
too?
back. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, if y'all want to lay it all at the feet of the coach, you got to look at the whole thing. And I told you that. EDC, you got to eat some of this too. So now this guy
I said that.
going to start this is not against you. You asked me why I said I don't think firing John Harbaugh is going to guarantee the Ravens going to be any better next year. That's my point. That's my only point. And if y'all think one of these coaches that's out there on the scrap heap is going to come in here and turn this team into something more than what we are now, you're fooling yourself. If you think that defensive coordinator for Minnesota, what's his name is me right now?
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores is going to come to Baltimore and kowtow to Lamar Jackson. You're fooling yourself. He couldn't even get on the same page with Tua, who's soft. You think
That's your boy.
Lamar
I agree
wants
with
to
that.
run the show. This is Lamar Jackson's franchise. So whoever they pick is going to have to bow down. Who bowed down more than John Harbaugh? John Harbaugh. Oh, Lamar Jackson, the greatest quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Oh, he's the best player. He kissed his ass routinely.
So
and that still wasn't enough.
Do you think Lamar Jackson played a part in getting him fired?
100%. What they not
So,
making
so,
the
so wait,
move.
wait, wait. So
Well-
directly, you think Bashotti went to him and said, "Yeah," and then he said, "Get rid of him."
Look,
He
man.
honestly didn't have to in his exit speech.
No
He
one,
didn't
but
support
no one sung his
Most
praises in exit speech.
quarterbacks, even when you lose, support your coach some kind of way. It was on us. We gotta listen. We didn't make the plays that was there to make. He didn't say that. He just he skated across that and just said, "Look, we just lost. I'm not in the headspace to talk about it." That's not a glowing endorsement of your coach. That's Lamar.
What is it?
That's what he said. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I said
man.
my piece. Go ahead, Calvin.
I've never seen somebody not have the courage and convictions to stick with their original opinion and walk it back once the decision is made. I don't like how it's played out because it seems like an emotional decision at this point, and especially when it comes out that Bashotti wanted him to get rid of Monken, who I don't think Monken, I don't blame Monken for a lot of what happened this season. I blame the offensive line. The offensive line was put together by EDC, which you can't have an offensive line. You can't protect your quarterback. You can't run the ball efficiently as well. So that goes back to EDC. Monken in 3 years with Lamar, he went MVP.
2 years.
Should have been back to this is his third year with Lamar. This was his third year. The first year was MVP. Last year he should have been MVP, and then you had this year when they had a bad line. So if I have a quarterback that when healthy for 2 full years was no worse than having the 4th greatest QB season ever last year, I don't think he forgot how to coach Lamar. I don't think he forgot how to run this offense. I think it's the personnel, and that's what the problem was. So if Harbaugh wants to die on the hill with Monken, I have no problem with that because I don't think Monken was the problem. At this season, it was a personnel problem from the beginning in which you had nothing in the trenches on the offensive defensive line, and it played out week after week after week after week. And we talked about Falele, we talked about Stanley, we talked about Linderbaum getting his ass pushed around, we talked about giving up the pass, the 2 best guards the last 2 years. All that played a part.
Oh, hold up. Let me cut you off right there then. So, okay, we talked about Falele, we talked about all these guys. At what point does the general manager make a move? At what point does the general manager go out there and try to improve and pick up somebody better?
Okay, so what
why not make a trade?
2 questions. What move do you make? 1 and 2, when you're 1-5, do you want to give up first round draft pick to quote unquote make a move at that point with this quarterback injured?
Are we supposed to be a win now team? Or we're supposed to a win for the future team?
We're not the Rams. We're not an F them picks team.
Not going to mean nothing if you're
not an F them picks team.
Again, you get what you get. You get what you get. You don't invest in those things that matter. Offensive line, defensive line. Guess what you end up at? Firing your coach. You starting over. You are halfway now. You're halfway because you're not winning the Super Bowl as currently comprised. You're not winning the Super Bowl. I can tell you that now. So give up them picks or hold on to them, and you keep drafting these shiny toys that don't work out. That has never worked out. Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson are great examples of 2 guys that worked out for the Ravens. Look,
Mark Andrews didn't work out.
Mark Andrews is great, but did he deserve this next contract? Did he deserve this next contract?
I agree with that, but Mark Andrews was a 3rd round draft pick, and he's arguably the best tight end in Ravens history.
The moves that he has made over the last few years, some of these DeAndre Hopkins, these older receivers that really have meant nothing, or you trade for guys, then you end up.
Why did he sign though?
Jaire Alexander.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on that. Why did he sign? Why he signed DeAndre Hopkins? Why did he sign DeAndre Hopkins?
One of them.
Okay, so you listen to your quarterback who said, "Go give me OBJ, go give me DeAndre Hopkins," and then he signs him, but then you got a problem with him signing them because he listens to his quarterback. You can't have both ways.
I think you're missing my point. Go back to what we just said. So the coach, it's the coach's fault we're not winning. But
I didn't say that. I never said that.
No. Let me finish my point.
I never said that.
No, by firing him, you're saying it's your fault. That we need a new voice. That we need something different that's going to inspire. But when it comes to personnel, we're going to go get Lamar's receiver friends who he wants. We're going to go get Jaire Alexander, his college teammate who he wanted to bring in, who gave us nothing. You use assets to get him. You go out and get this guy everything that he say he wants. Derrick Henry was a Lamar pickup. Great pickup. Phenomenal pickup. But guess what? You're supposed to win with Derrick Henry. You're supposed to. Why is he upset with Monken? Tell me why. Why is Lamar upset with Monken? He's improved nothing but as a great passer in all 3 years under Monken until this year when he got hurt. if you're saying, if anything, Derrick Henry touching the ball more takes the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hand. Is he have an issue with not running Henry enough? Is he have an issue with Monken wants him to run more and he doesn't want to run no more? Or why has it been a drastic change in how Lamar plays offense while it's rushing opposed to passing? Did Monken want him to be more of a drop back passer and he wanted to be more of a runner? I need more answers when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, Harbaugh is the reason why our defensive line can't get sacks. Harbaugh is the reason why our offensive line can't protect. I think that's more than just a Harbaugh issue. That was my whole point. And I think Harbaugh's job, maybe in the grand scheme of things, 18 years is too long. I'm not disagreeing with that. And my frustration a few weeks ago after that New England game, because y'all have never heard me call for John Harbaugh to be fired. And all this time, even in all our frustrations, I've been critical of offensive coordinators. I've been critical of defensive coordinators. At the end of the day, I know that Harbaugh is not an offensive coordinator. He's not a defensive coordinator. He's a team builder and a CEO of the team. Now, if they saying that he lost the locker room and nobody respects him, that's news to me because I work down there. And that's not what I hear. Now, if they saying Lamar don't like him or don't agree with him, that's news to me too. But if that's the truth, that was all on you, Lamar. Get the job done. You're picking the next coach.
We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. Lamar doesn't say I don't like you when you acquiesce to everything I want inside the locker room. And speaking of directly of John Harbaugh, not personnel with EDC. So he knows the next guy that comes in won't acquiesce to him because that is going to be Spashotti's guy. That's EDC's guy. You can't have a problem. You can't have a problem with every coach that comes in because then it's not a them problem, it's a you problem. And if you're going to have this coaching carousel, then it's going to slowly become, hey, it's a you problem. It's not a them problem. Whoever comes in will not acquiesce. Will not acquiesce. Say that again.
You don't think the next coach is going to be a Lamar pick? You think it's just going to be whoever Bashotti want? Because
if you want to tell me Lamar has a hand in the decision, okay. I'm saying he doesn't have the final decision. That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Justin. You got any thoughts?
No, it's just the first thing you said, Calvin, when you were going, was the fact that it wasn't Monken's fault for a lot of things. Well, if it wasn't Monken's fault for the Patriots loss, it wasn't his fault that Derrick Henry couldn't run the ball. That he doesn't get his courage. Y'all lost playoff games because you didn't run the ball. Eventually, the buck got to stop somewhere. So either Harbaugh is not making that call. Either the head coach is not making that call. If Monken is not making that call,
tell him I want to run the ball. I want him to run the ball. That's fine. You can say that. But I'm not. But overall, when I've seen leaps and bound jumps from Lamar Jackson, I'm not going to say your OC is the fucking problem when I've seen him go for 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. 4 interceptions, which they weren't his fault. He's back-to-back MVP, in my opinion. And this year, he did not have a line, which is why you saw the offensive frustration. So if that's the case, then how am I going to blame the guy that took Lamar Jackson to another stratosphere, in my opinion? You want to say disagree? You want to say you should run the ball more? Fine. I can nitpick any other offensive, defensive coach or head coach. That's perfectly fine. But I'm saying if the hill he wanted to die on was I want Monken back, and they said no, Monken is not that big of a problem, in my opinion, to which the organization said no, he can't come back. That's my point. Now, if Bashotti wants to sit there in his office and say, I saw Cincinnati on Thanksgiving, I saw New England, and you're pointing out these 3 or 4 specific games over the course of the last 4 years, then now you're starting to become too involved, in my opinion. Why would they be so
strong in their stand of saying no?
Because you know why? Because because Bashotti hears what people say. He hears what his investor says. He sees when the Houston game, everyone's gone by the second half because they're down 41-3. He sees that, and it's all about dollars. And if you're going to be about dollars and cents in this business, you're not about winning. So you can't do both. Either you're going to be Jerry Jones or you're going to sit back and not do shit and listen to the people that actually run the organization. And you're not going to be making these emotional decisions. That's the problem I have with.
I don't blame Harbaugh one bit. If I would have died on no hill for no or. But at all, but
I heard it was Monken. I heard it was Monken. Didn't hear it was Orr.
Nah, man. You can't watch this Ravens team over the last 3 years, AFC Championship game, divisional round, and then this year with the injuries, and the offense be the problem. I'm sorry. You cannot. Yes, there are specific examples of we should have ran Henry more. But Derrick Henry had his 2 most productive years the last 2 years with the Baltimore Ravens. Go back and look at the stats.
Second and third.
Whatever. And Derrick Henry been playing a long time. Like, you would think he'd be coming here for his second leg. Somebody, I'm getting some feedback on one of y'all headsets or something. But no, you would think this would be his final home. So as much as we say they should be feeding Henry more, he almost had the rushing title again this year. So it's not like they didn't run the ball. The problem is at certain times, and that people want to hold that at the feet of John Harbaugh, that he should have just said, no, from this point on, call run nothing but run plays. Hey, I got you. My point is this. If you're going to make a move like this, you don't make the move without knowing what's
I agree
next.
with that. I agree with
What's
that. You
next?
are an organization that has had consistency in
Stability.
the front office. If you make this move, you are 10 steps ahead. You make this move because you already know what you're going to do. It's not like last time when you make this move and you wait. Harbaugh, it was from
Jason
Bellick
Garrett,
to it took 20 days
Don
from Bellick to Harbaugh last time, 21 days, something like that. You don't make this move in that case. You
they
already
got
had this
turned down
line up.
by Jason Garrett.
Yeah, and this is why I think it was an emotional decision by Bisciotti, in which he got in this conversation and he thought he could tell Harbaugh what to do, and Harbaugh realized that, look, if you tell me what to do, I'm really gonna lose the locker room, because now they know who's running the organization or who's running the team, and it's not me. And that's what started it. And I agree with that. I'm saying he should have gone, but there should have been a plan in place for him to go. And it appears to me that this was emotional. It happened on a Tuesday afternoon. It didn't happen on Monday. It happened after the exit interviews. You come talk to the man. Argument started, tempers start flaring, it's a power struggle, and he's out the door. And now all of a sudden he's gotten 7 calls. Now I'm not saying that's not an excuse to keep him, but if you're going to make an emotional decision, be prepared to deal with the consequences of your emotional decision, and that's not winning because you're not prepared.
Well, here's the thing also. Look, and y'all know me. I love Lamar. So anybody who watching this, don't think this is a shot at Lamar Jackson. He's our quarterback. I want them to restructure his deal. He'd be here for the rest of the career.
Shot.
But let's be real. Lamar Jackson has turned into a seed. Like, he's a corporation. He's a company. He's a brand. He's not just a football player anymore. He's not hungry. He made $200 million on his last deal. He's not trying to break through or just make it. He knows what he wants. So it got to a point where John Harbaugh didn't even know when Lamar want to play. That's a problem. When you're not on the same path with your coaching staff and your training room and your health department is not all lined up. I'm getting some feedback. One of y'all headsets or something. That's not how you run an organization. How many press conferences do we watch where they ask, is Lamar going to be healthy enough to play? Harbaugh say, yeah, Lamar will be back. Lamar don't play. How many press conferences weeks did we see Lamar sit out on Wednesday practice and not participate?
6 in a row.
Apparently, that was an issue for Monken. Monken said, we can't get a game plan ready. We can't prepare correctly for the week if our starting quarterback is on the sideline watching.
That's fair.
Like,
that's fair.
100% fair, but that's football. Again, I get it. You're the star quarterback. You're going to get treated differently. But if you're an old school coach and you're trying to get a game plan together and you're trying to coach everybody the same, it doesn't work when you got the $200 million man standing over there. So there has to be an adjustment there. And, of course, Harbaugh is the nice guy trying to play mediator, which has been reported that Harbaugh was in the middle trying to play mediator between Monken and Lamar because they couldn't get a straight answer on when Lamar's going to be ready to play. They thought he was ready. He didn't come back.
They thought he was ready for Chicago.
He sat out another 2 weeks.
We heard that.
Then he played in Miami. We know about the whole story. He picked his time when he wanted to play. Then they thought he could have came back and played in Green Bay. He said, I thought my brother could play better. So it wasn't like he was so injured. Because he sure didn't. He looked fresh last Sunday to me. Didn't look like his back was that dinged up that he couldn't have gone out there the week before.
Put that flak jacket on.
I'm just saying, man. So it's a lot more than just, we didn't win enough games. If I don't have my full full arsenal, I don't have my quarterback, the guy that we pay the most money to, the reason why we don't have the money to resign the offensive lineman that we lost, the guy that we had to reallocate funds for to make sure that we locked him up and we couldn't splurge on a wide receiver in the free agency maybe the way we want to. If everything is built around you, it's unfair. I'm not saying it's fair, but you got to be the one who stand on the front line. So at the end of the day, get rid of Harbaugh. I get it. A lot of people are for this move. There were people rejoicing. I'm not rejoicing because I understand how difficult it is to win in this league.
In Ravens history.
There's
only 3 of them, though.
And I'll tell you this. If you don't think how good of a coach he was, before he was released, there were a lot of coaches that were at the top of a lot of people's lists that went down as soon as he got free. So that tells you all you need to know about why people think, because everybody thinking about, X's and O's on the field. It's not just about that. It's about how do you set up an organization. And somebody else made a great point. When he came in, he had a rookie quarterback in Joe Flacco, who played a totally different style than Lamar Jackson.
He
had a veteran defense. After that veteran defense, he still had to make it work. He rebuilt it. You can say that, Lamar saved his job.
Adaptable.
Well, he adapted and benched Joe Flacco, if you recall. Lamar Jackson was the last pick in the first round. They didn't go out and get him as no early round draft pick. It was a project who some people wanted to make him a wide receiver or running back. So let's not act like Lamar just fell out the sky as this guy that everybody thought was going to be Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Like let's be real. Revamp the whole offense around him, gave him a skills, allowed him to be himself in the offense. That's an adaptable. And from day one, you never heard John Harbaugh denigrate, talk down on Lamar Jackson, try to minimize his ability. He said Lamar Jackson can do anything on a football field. And I've seen him in person have glowing things to say. So no, I always had the utmost respect for John Harbaugh, how he treated not just Lamar, the veterans. Remember when they tried to mutiny against him, those punks back in the early days? He ain't buckled. He stood up against it. That showed me he had a backbone. And what happened? We went on to win the Super Bowl. Look, it's a lot of levels to that. Over the 18 years, it's going to be, of course, some losing seasons or some downfalls. But if you go back to 2017, at the end, we lose. 18, at the end, we lose. 19, at the end, we lose. Like, it's not like we didn't have a chance every year. We had a chance every year. And that's something to be said. And a lot of organizations would kill for that. If you was the New York Jets, if you was the Cleveland Browns, if you the Arizona Cardinals, it's a lot of franchises right now who would kill to have a coach like John Harbaugh. So again, might be time to move on.
Some of the playoffs too, in my opinion.
Look, if the Philadelphia Eagles lose on Saturday, I would not be shocked. That's all I'll say. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. The way people
didn't come to Philadelphia.
Yeah,
under Andy Reid.
Came from.
But I mean, you got they just won a Super Bowl. You get more leeway than 1 year.
They just won a Super Bowl when they fired their last coach and brought him in there. Huh? Mm-hmm. It didn't take long. Howie Roseman don't play, man. That Jeffrey Lurie, they pull the hook, man.
Harbaugh does seem like the type of coach. If you have things in order, if you have like a team in order, and you just need to take it to the next level. He ain't win multiple championships, but he does seem like one of those team manager. Let's get everybody on one accord, one page kind of a coach. And I guess if you got a well balanced team, you need that sometimes.
I was thinking Green Bay.
Somebody said that too. I agree. But I think that, to me, Atlanta is the move. I think Atlanta is ready. They just need they need more organization.
The only problem, you going to are you tying this to Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix? I mean, I know New York is the Giants.
They don't have a quarterback, and that's why I have issues with Atlanta. If you got
Giants
two quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback.
Who Atlanta? You said Atlanta. Yeah, the Giants are flashy. They don't. I don't know if that's a tough division as well. I mean, if you tell me
I like the Giants,
Penix is coming back, and you can get by one more year with Kirk Cousins, and then all that comes off the cap as well after next year.
I think you can do it.
And then look, they were 8-9 in the division. So you're telling me in that weak division as well, it can't be had?
You got a great running back. You got receivers, a tight end.
Go ahead, you
got
franchise
defensive
Kyle,
backs who
franchise
take
Kyle
the
Pitts.
ball away.
You ain't got no
I'm
first round
telling
pick.
you, man.
Uh,
If I'm John and look, off the blank want to win, man. He does not make
ain't
that
never
move
won. He ain't never
unless
won.
he's ready. He wants a veteran.
What
And
been
that's
two
my
Super
issue.
Bowls, 2 Super Bowls, and haven't won none.
Lost, yeah, both of them, and they was up 28-3 in one of them.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing with Shanahan.
But here's the thing: if you are the Ravens, and I want you to be realistic. Don't give me no fluff as no fan. Give me a realistic answer. Are you a coach away from going to a Super Bowl?
I'm an off-season
And
away.
who's that coach?
I'm an off-season away. I told you who my dream coach is.
We on the air now.
I want Andy Reid. Look,
Andy
I know
Reid
you can't call him directly, but look, you going Pat Mahomes missing all next year. Travis Kelce gone. Do you want to rebuild in 2 years, or do you want to be in position to win over the next 2 years?
So you fired
Andy Reid is what 3 years older than Harbaugh, something like that. 2-3 years older than Harbaugh. He's had experience of winning quarterbacks. Fuck Donovan McNabb. He's had experience of winning offenses. He's won everywhere he went. If you can do that, okay, and he's won everywhere he went, like I said. If you can do that,
I get it. Now give me your real answer.
I'm saying he can win.
Like realistically, who you want? You don't make this move without having a name. Y'all want
who do I really want? I want Clint Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak. Okay.
That's the more realistic
Gary
answer.
Kubiak's son.
Yeah, OC out there in
Gary
Seattle.
used to be our offensive coordinator here.
Yes. I've seen what he did with the offense in Seattle.
I think he'll say no out of respect
for Mike McDonald. Out of respect for Mike McDonald. I thought you
both.
Say.
Remember, they was both under Harbaugh. He was on Harbaugh.
That's why I'm trying to bring him back.
He said the dude from the Chargers, Mentor.
The OC.
He was here too.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, the DC. Yeah, Mentor. Yeah.
The defensive coordinator. It's a lot of times saying that he can come in.
I want to say it's the Ravens Nation to all y'all out there.
What good is that going to do?
No. I want to say, explain to me, why do y'all want a defensive head coach? Explain that. Why do y'all want Flores? Why do y'all want Mentor? Why do y'all want a defensive head coach?
Because
no.
This is why. I can answer that question.
Let me say this real quick.
Okay.
Most coaches recently have specialized in offensive defense recently. The last defensive head coach was arguably the greatest head coach that to win the Super Bowl was arguably the greatest head coach of all time was Belichick. No one has done that since in the last 25 years. Please explain to me why y'all want to go defensive first. You no longer win like that way. That way, you win with a great offense. You can build a defense with personnel and scheme. The scheme was terrible the last 18 months. Yeah. So I don't understand why y'all think Brian Flores is a great leader. Okay, fine. What is he? He didn't do anything offensively in Miami. No. I said that's what they think. I didn't say that's what I think. Oh. That's what they think. That's fine. But I don't see how a defensive head coach helped this team faster than the offensive head coach when you have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
But the offense wasn't the problem. That's the problem.
I don't want it to be. I agree.
So
agree.
You bring in a defensive person, whereas though the number one issue is defense, so you know that he's going to be looking.
The number one issue is offensive defensive line.
Is going to be that defense. Every single layer of that defense, he's going to look over. So I got him as the head coach, whoever it is. It could be the Chargers dude, it could be Flores. You got him as the head coach, and you still going to have a defensive coordinator. So you got two main people that's saying the defense would not be a problem moving forward. And then Lamar Jackson in the offense could be Lamar Jackson in the offense.
2 years ago,
a lot of people like that.
No, 2 years ago, this defense won a triple crown.
That's what people want.
2 years ago, this defense won a triple crown. Last year, the last 9 games I think last 9-10 games, the defense was top 4 or 5.
Here's what's
with 2 different schemes with various different personnel.
Whatever you get, they have to be what you need the most help in. I think that's the truth. Because here's the thing. If you get an offensive coordinator and make them your head coach, he's going to have to go out and get him a defensive coordinator to show up the issues that we're having on defense. And guess what's going to happen? If he do turn around, he's going to get a head coaching job, and he'll be gone, and then we'll be back to square one again. So,
Mike McDonald,
you got to get somebody who, if they're going to be the head coach, they specialize in what we can't lose. So that's why I see the defensive part working out. Because if you go get an offensive guy, you already supposed to have a special weapon in office in Lamar Jackson, who all he needs is a good offensive coordinator that started ship in the right way. I do think you go more defensive. That's why I think Harbaugh worked out so well because he didn't
He didn't specialize in anything.
And you can just he can
But that just led to I don't want to say consistent. That just led
18
to
years.
a long term. It led to that term. Like if the next coach is going to ideally,
I mean, we say that, but he was a secondary coach at one point. It wasn't like he was just special teams. Like he didn't just coach.
He was more his specialty was special teams more than secondary.
It is what it is. He was a football coach. His father
He was
was
18 years of football coach. His specialty is football.
I mean,
I agree with that. I hate it. I hate the
this
people
point.
that say he doesn't specialize on one side of the ball. Like
Growing up
fucking
in a
manager of the
football
team.
family.
exactly. Like he knows football.
He knows
So,
football.
My point is,
Big Brother was a quarterback.
you don't make this move. You don't make this move for a rookie head coach. I'm sorry. You got to get somebody with some cachet. You got to get somebody that the players are automatically going to respect from day one and be like, that's the guy that's going to get us over the hump.
I agree. Why I said my number one choice.
The fan base wanted him gone because they didn't believe that he could get us a Super Bowl. So whoever you get, you say Clint Kubiak is going to get us a Super Bowl. That's your thoughts.
And people stop saying John Gruden too. Y'all seen what he did outside the 1 year in Tampa Bay? Please stop. I've heard that name too many times.
From a cachet perspective,
I haven't heard that, but a lot of people saying John should come back. That's not happening either.
I again, no disrespect to any Ravens fans who have been calling for Harbaugh's head. Yeah, man, I'm glad y'all happy. That's good. I just want you to mark it down and remember, if we're not successful next year, blame Lamar Jackson. That's it. Like call it what it is. This was a struggle. This was a battle. This was a him or me. Apparently, that's what the insiders are saying.
That's it.
Am I right or wrong?
I've heard the same thing. It was a him or me, and that he was holding the contract. I've heard that. I've heard that talk.
I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying that's what y'all want to pass out there and say. I don't think it's true, but it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you don't perform on the field, I don't care who the coach is. If you don't perform on the field, you're going to get the same result. I don't care if that goes for any of these teams we see this weekend. That Josh Allen, his coach will be gone too. He's going to take the blame.
I think Tomlin could be gone too. Like
Tomlin, he made it to the playoffs, but if you don't win a game, mean, what have you accomplished?
Who do you think the coach is going to be?
The Ravens?
Yeah.
Honestly, and that's the thing. People keep asking me. I don't know because
no. Just say a name. Did you say this?
Who I would be happy with? No.
I mean, no. Who do you think is going to be? Because I don't think it's going to be Kubiak. I think that's who I want.
I always like Stefanski. I think it's going to be Stefanski. I always did. But I think that's what's going to be the head coach of my franchise. No,
I think you don't think Stefanski and Lamar going to clash?
Of course they would.
I mean, I think anybody in Lamar is going to clash next year.
Yeah, but it's levels though. It's levels.
But I also think with Stefanski, you can if you see look at what happened in Cleveland, and you just look at the ineptitude of that team or that organization, and you say, well, he still had fucking Joe Flacco help win him get a wild card and almost win a game in the playoffs.
But he had a great defense. Like he had Myles Garrett.
Most of the team didn't respect him at all.
Exactly.
But the
a lot of personalities in this Ravens camp.
Remember, I picked Cleveland to win the division 2 years ago, so I know what type of talent they had. They had defensive.
That's what I think it's going to end up being, though. That's what I think it's going to end up being.
I don't think it's going to be him. If you go get Cliff Kingsbury, it's not like anybody you name because you can them fail.
Is this head coaching search different from 2008?
Trash this year, yes.
No, what you mean?
I don't see the candidates. They're strong. I think
so. You believe in Harbaugh in 2008?
2008 was a losing team. We weren't a winning team. Like
they were coming off of missing the playoffs, just like this team was. And 2 years ago, they were in the AFC.
A rookie quarterback.
But hold up. And 2 years ago, they were in the AFC divisional round. The same thing this team was.
Okay, and then what did we do when we drafted? We hired John Harbaugh. We drafted Joe Flacco.
Why? Because Steve McNair was done.
Okay, that's my point. It was a restart. This team is not supposed to be a restart team.
Which
The
is
reason
why
for getting
you
rid of
need to
Brian
have someone
Billick
with you need to have someone with some experience.
Let's not do revisionist history. The reason why they got rid of Brian Billick was he could not find a quarterback. He could not find a quarterback. He struck out on Kyle Bowler, Chris Redmond, all the guys. Steve McNair was supposed to be his final hope, and we couldn't get the job done. So they went out, got rid of Billick, and you went out and you looked for an offensive-minded coach. You couldn't get one.
You offered to Jason Garrett.
And he turned you down.
Well, his wife watched The Wire. So.
And then you settled on, I guess you settled, but he worked out. John Harbaugh.
That was their second or third choice. I don't remember.
And Joe Flacco had the arm that everybody said, oh, he can throw it from.
And they had a defense.
Like, we can do it. And we went to the playoffs in year one. Like, it's not
the
like
AFC Championship game.
That's my point. It's not like it's not similar at all. This team, Lamar Jackson is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Which is he retired right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Without a championship.
I agree. Which is why I say I don't know if you can, as much as I want this new, young, innovative offensive coordinator, I don't know if you can bring in anyone that doesn't have head coaching experience to this team.
That's my point.
Hence why I think it's got to be Stefanski, or he's a leading candidate right now. If you tell me Tomlin gets fired,
nobody's going to smile.
All bets are off.
Nobody's going to be happy about Stefanski taking over this franchise.
You say you can't hire a loser. Who the hell is winning? Who's
winning? I think you're missing my point.
No, I hear what you said. So you fired Harbaugh with not necessarily a winning coach in mind.
He's a Super Bowl champ.
Yes, it was an emotional decision.
They already on teams right now.
It was an emotional decision by Bisciotti.
That's my point.
It was a power struggle. And
I don't mind doing it, but it better be, hey, Mike McDonald ready to come back, or you know what I mean? Like, we got a guy that is ready to take over this team, and you just been holding them back.
That's why it was an emotional decision.
That the problem wasn't the offensive coordinator, I would say promote him. I mean, but clearly, him and Lamar got an issue.
But basically, after what happened between the three of them, he's not.
No, that's my point. If you told me that the problem wasn't Todd Monken, I'd be like, oh, because Monken interviewing other places too. Like, he might take over the Cleveland job.
I think he interviewed in Miami too.
The man was the coach at the University of Georgia and won national title. Was a great coach. Let's not act like Todd Monken is just some bum, who don't know what he's doing. That was a great hire by John Harbaugh, and it's worked out for Lamar Jackson. So let's not, disrespect that man's credentials. My point is, if you're going to fire John Harbaugh, you should have someone lined up that's not just, okay, in 5 years we'll be good. This is not a 5-year team. We need to win now team, because every year we don't win, people losing jobs around here, clearly. You know what I mean? So I just didn't think this. You're going to go out and get Mike McCarthy, who's taking a couple years off. He has a title on it. He did something in Dallas. Like, for his third stint. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm not doing McCarthy.
Then people
I'm not doing former Dallas coaches.
People tell me, go get Anthony Weaver from the Miami Dolphins. No. Why the hell would I take a chance on Anthony Weaver, who couldn't even beat out, or for the defensive coordinator job right here in Baltimore? And you're going to fire John Harbaugh, and all your candidates is John Harbaugh assistants? like, what are we doing? Look. I know everybody. Just fire the coach. Bank it through. And if you're going to tell me, go get let's go get a Brian Flores. When has Brian Flores shown you he could be a successful head coach that can work with a quarterback that he might not agree with everything he do? Like, and he's suing the NFL right now. He's not getting no job. Let's be realistic, guys. Now, Robert Saleh, he did a great job in New York. Give me some more names.
Did a great job in New York.
It's a joke. It's a joke. I'm sorry, man. Call it emotional. Call it what you want. I'm thinking like a GM would think, or executive. You don't just fire nobody. Go ahead.
There's another side here. There's a slew of coordinators that go to a different team, and then they are now upgrading their team tremendously. Tampa Bay had Liam Cohen. He left. He got Jaguars being one of the best teams in the league. Mike McDonald, for you guys, got Seattle being, 2 years. but
both of
one
those
the best teams. So
teams
there is a president
exceeded expectations this year. It's a
But
difference.
there's
They
a
had no
precedent of
expectations,
you
and they
can change
exceeded those
teams
expectations.
around though.
Let's finish this
You're
thought.
changing a non-playoff team because that's what the Ravens are. They're a non-playoff team into maybe a Super Bowl winning team. Like that's what people are hoping on now. Like coordinators can possibly do that. So it's
I'm
not
not
out the realm
disagreeing.
of that, but
It's
it's
different
not
circumstances.
disagreeing.
That's fine. It's different circumstances.
I'm not disagreeing, but in both of those cases, in Jacksonville and in Seattle, none of them are favored or thought to be perennial Super Bowl. Hey, if they don't win this year, they a bust. Right now, if Seattle win one playoff game, that's a successful season for them. If Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence win a game, hey, nobody have no expectations for Liam Cohen in his first year as a coach. If whoever takes the next job as the Baltimore Ravens head coach, if you don't win with Lamar Jackson, you getting tagged. Hey man, you replace John Harbaugh and you fail, or that's just the way it is. Lamar can't get it done in the playoffs. You're gonna get tied to that for the rest of your life. It's just unfortunate. And Tony Dungy said it right. I read what Tony Dungy wrote. I don't agree with everything Tony Dungy say, but Tony Dungy got a lot of experience in this. Remember what happened to him in Tampa, and he left, and John Gruden came in and won with his team. But Tony won in Indianapolis. He won later, whatever like that. So good on him. Maybe that'll happen with Harbaugh. Harbaugh already got a title, so it's not a one.
You already got one, yeah.
I'm not saying it's not a 1-to-1, but I'm just saying, like, you can sometimes find a diamond in the rough. I'm not saying there's no good coaches out there. My point is, I need more context, real context on what happened for Lamar Jackson to be like, Todd Monken gotta go, or I'm out of like what? That makes no sense to me. And then John stood by him to the point where you're going to cost yourself a job. No, you was going to get rid of him regardless, and that was your scapegoat answer, in my opinion. Look, the fans have been pissed off. I get it. Radio, all that. They want Harbaugh gone. He's gone. I'm just saying, y'all tell me who the next coach is, and let's see how it goes. Good, congratulations. Let's move on. We talked about the strongest candidates. Cliff Kingsbury, Liam Cohen, Kevin Stefanski, not Liam Cohen. What's his name?
Clint
Kubiak.
No, Kingsbury. You're right.
Yeah, Clint Kubiak, But Harbaugh is top of the list. Apparently, a lot of teams have been calling. More teams that have openings right now. So clearly, somebody might be losing their job. Maybe Miami Dolphins. Their defense has been turning around. We'll see what they're going to do at quarterback. We'll keep an eye on this as it goes. Harbaugh, Ravens did a classy video for him today. I thought it was real nice, recapping some of his time in Baltimore. Let's get into the NFC playoffs picture. So you had the Seattle Seahawks finished at the number 1 seed. The Carolina Panthers ended up with that final spot by way of some crazy tiebreaker where they actually lost to Tampa Bay, but Atlanta won. So that meant that they had knocked that down, and Carolina won some 3-way tie, 8-9, getting into the playoffs. And that leads us to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Justin's team. Hey, man, after winning the division, 3 years in a row, a lot of people have questions about Todd Bowles. Is he the correct man to run this team? Is he the guy that can take Baker Mayfield and take Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the next level? Justin, I'll let you take it away. What's your thoughts? Is Todd Bowles the right man for the job, or should they move on from him? You're on mute.
And that's how I felt watching that goddamn the way this played out. I was completely quiet. But no, they already resigned. They already extended him. I think they had a conversation probably similar to Harbaugh and Bisciotti, and no ill will was there. It's who do you bring in? It's the same. We just went through 40 minutes of the same exact stuff. It's who do you bring in, and can that person be better than who you have now?
That's true.
And right now, no. So we stay with Todd. His philosophy is different, but the players respect him. We're not having some of those same underlying issues that like the Ravens are having. That the team loves him by far. So We didn't play to our highest ability. Clearly, we need some better pieces. We need some more line depth, and we need the offense to play better. We need Baker to play better. So that's a offensive coordinator thing. So I do believe we're going to be searching yet again for one of the premier offensive coordinators, whoever's available. I hope and pray that Miami coach get fired and he find his way across the sea. I mean, across the state to Tampa Bay. I will love that. We need someone of that caliber who's ready to be creative with the team. Our coordinator, I guess, for the last half of the season, we had all our pieces and we played worse than what we did in the beginning of the season. That's
crazy.
You can't. There's no excuses for that. So that's where we at with that. I'm not going to draw this out too much longer. I did want a fresh voice. I was one of those people like, hey, if you look at the Pewter reports and the different types of Tampa Bay media outlets, when they put the polls up there, most of them are like over 75% of them saying get rid of Todd Bowles. But I guess the ownership was like, well, shit, who the hell we gonna bring in that's better? And so he kept his job at least for one more year. And like I said, people was making fun of me in the beginning of the season, especially my co-workers at the shop. I tried to stay as humble as possible when we got off to that 6-2 start, because when you win games the way we were winning games, fourth quarter drives and things like that, it can easily be like, suppose if y'all lost those games, and that team that suppose if we lost that game, that thought process, it showed up in the second half, and we couldn't win more than 2 games. And we put ourselves in that situation. Baker, you will not see me say top 5 Baker next year. I would guarantee you that. You guys don't have to worry about that. I wouldn't. You can hold MVP Baker. All those out there. He got to prove it yet again because he played like crap. And you can tell if somebody's like having bad games. Bad games is one thing, but his turnovers, his interceptions, I'm like, yo, he threw it directly to the other team. Not like it was a miss. Nah, man, it was bad. So I gotta live with this for yet another year. Like you said, sometimes the grass ain't green on the other side. Man, y'all got Lamar Jackson. Things are easy sometimes. I gotta hope and pray that this dude don't have those turnovers that cripples.
You just said he was top 5.
I respect your realism. I mean, you gotta update your resume. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. So. And he's losing out on money too. He could have been in lines of a major contract, and he kind of played himself back down to damn near approve a deal yet again. So we still gonna stick. We're gonna ride with Baker. And I pray that Mike Evans come back one more year. Levante David, my guy, appreciate you. You can go off into the sunset though. We don't need you to come back. I love Levante. I told you he's in Rushmore. Like he's one of the ones for Tampa Bay, but his physical ability has taken several shots, and he's just not the same guy that he was when we won the Super Bowl, so on and forth. So, it was a tough season. We won our last game, and we still couldn't get into the playoffs, which absolutely sucked. But I'm here to say that Carolina is going to be one and done, and I'm okay with that.
Interesting. All right, thanks for that report. All right, let's get into these playoffs, man. So, at the beginning of the year, we put our list together of the teams that we thought, and then we came back at midseason, and I think we had the opportunity to replace one team from the AFC, one team from the NFC with anybody, and here's the results. So this is what we said. Calvin, you had the Ravens as the number 1 seed, didn't even make the playoffs. You had the Packers as the number 1 seed. They ended up as the number 7 seed. I had the Ravens and the Eagles. The Eagles finished at number 2. So not too bad there.
They finished number 3.
They were 3? Oh yeah, because they didn't play anybody last game. Okay. Justin, you had the Ravens and the Bucks. Neither made the playoffs.
First half of the season was good. That was good.
They were. Not 1-5 Ravens, but yeah. The big Calvin and the Washington Commanders didn't make the playoffs. You had the Chiefs and the Bucks. Chiefs and the Bucks didn't make the playoffs. Texans and Rams both made it. the Broncos and the Eagles, Bengals and Lions. Neither one of them made the playoffs. The Chargers and the Falcons. Falcons didn't make it. Man, this is rough, man. This is rough. This year was terrible for everybody because we continue to go through this list. Let's just count them up. Playoff teams, actually. Calvin got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 14. The 50%. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So you're in the lead.
I got 7.
Just to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, still a 7. All right. So I was the worst. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. This was a bad year, man.
That's still like less than 50% or less.
That's failing, man.
But 50% turnover every year, which is crazy in the playoffs.
That's crazy. And we had an opportunity to switch some of these out at midfield. At midtime. And some of these teams was looking like the Lions. We all thought the Lions was going to get in there. Look at that. Fall from grace for them. The Chiefs, complete
the Lions, the Chiefs,
yeah.
We had all at Washington.
Yeah, it is what it is. But
I think all of them picking top 10.
Our Super Bowl picks.
Oh Lord.
Calvin had the Packers and the Ravens, with the Ravens winning. I had the Ravens and the Eagles. Oh God, with the Ravens winning, and the Bills and the Bucks. So we all got one of our Super Bowl picks still alive at least. So
let's go Bills, man.
Wait, do you feel who feels the most comfortable?
I feel comfortable. I'll say that.
I don't mind the Eagles. I think the Eagles could make a run. I think they could. I don't think they will.
Best quarterback left.
But speaking of, let's do this, man.
Let's go with the real. Yes, what's actually out there.
So of all the let's start with the quarterbacks. Who do you have the most confidence in? We're gonna rank them 1 through 7 in the AFC and in the NFC. Let's start with the AFC. Of the 7 AFC teams that's in the playoffs and their quarterbacks. Calvin, I'll start with you. Which quarterback do you have the most, the numbers, who you have the least confidence in? Number 7.
Justin Herbert.
Damn.
Banged up. Offensive line's banged up. They got a fractured forearm, missing both tackles, still trying to get healthy. I think they won and done. Now, I'm not saying this is based off his skill. I'm just saying based off how banged up he is and going against New England's defense. I don't see it.
I don't know, man. Now, if you said the team, I agree. The offensive line, yeah, but I think Herbert played well. Even that game they lost a few years ago,
when they gave up 30 points to Jacksonville.
The defense. But
he hasn't won a playoff game yet.
Okay, Drake May hasn't either. So I'm going with Drake May.
Okay.
I'm going with Drake May. Justin, who you got?
Number 1 seed. I'll go with Bo Nix.
You know, that's a great pick, too.
Yeah.
That's a great pick, too. All 3 have question marks, for sure. All right, Justin, who's number 6?
I now go Justin Herbert.
Herbert, yeah.
For the injury more so than anything else.
Yeah,
not
that's
necessarily.
all I mentioned was injury. Not play, just injury.
I'm going Bo Nix. I haven't seen it. I to me, confidence means I seen you do it, and I got faith you can repeat it. Calvin,
Bo Nix.
All right,
I just need to see it. What I saw last year in the playoffs. Yeah.
Who you got? Number 5.
Aaron Rodgers. That offense has not looked good against anyone but Baltimore. And you're going to play against number 2 ranked defense? Nah, I don't see it.
Wow. You know, Aaron Rodgers be my favorite quarterback. And I'm sorry, CJ Stroud. Justin.
Yeah, I got love for Lynn Cohen. I believe he's done a phenomenal job in Jacksonville, but I still do not trust Mr. Trevor Lawrence. I got back to back, I guess.
Yeah, who you got?
Do I go CJ here? Let me look. I go Drake. I go Drake here.
Okay.
I think he's going to prove very well for himself this playoffs.
If we talking about just the quarterback, I go Trevor Lawrence here. Calvin.
Trevor Lawrence.
Who you got at 3?
3. CJ.
Yeah. I go with. This is tough, man.
Who played first round against? Is it Houston and Steelers?
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Okay.
I mean, that's the only reason why. But like I say, the opponent makes me not have as much confidence. But it's Aaron Rodgers. Like
I guess my question with him is, when did he have a good game recently against anyone but Baltimore? That's plays a major part in my opinion.
Who am I missing?
Josh Allen.
Oh, because New England got a bye this week. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, Denver got a bye.
Denver got a bye. Okay.
Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. That's what I'm missing. I'll put Herbert there. Yeah. Justin?
Okay. I really want Mike Tomlin to win a game. I know we're just doing quarterbacks. I know that, but who you play makes a difference too.
I agree.
Yeah, let's go with CJ.
That matters to me. I agree. Now you going with Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm thinking too. Look, it's not about, because I just seen what he did to Baltimore. Like, it matters. You know, like, still Aaron Rodgers. Get DK back. Yeah. Calvin?
Drake May. I know the schedule was weak. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the stats. He's
the second best quarterback in the AFC too right now.
Yeah, I can't knock that.
I mean, I had him 4.
And you're playing at home.
Terrible schedule. Like,
you're playing at home until the AFC Championship game, possibly. I look at the stats. I look at the numbers. I look at your DVOA. I'm not saying he didn't play against a weak schedule. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he dominated when needed against that weak schedule. So, and it's your first playoff, but I'm gonna give you respect.
And then Buffalo at number 1 for all of us. Josh Allen. And that speaks to something. So we need to talk about that. If Josh Allen doesn't get it done in this field, according to our list, Drake May, Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud, like come on. This is not no Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson situation here. No Joe Burrow. Like, you gotta get it done.
But he doesn't. He doesn't have to.
Save it for your confidence. Save it for when we pick the game. But go ahead, talk on your point.
No, just real quick. You know, John Elway. Like, John Elway had to wait till he got Terrell Davis to win, to finally win it. You feel me?
That's not a good comparison.
Nah, if he gets a 2,000-yard rush,
he's the best running back in the league this year.
He is. He's the rushing champ.
So he's a rushing champ. That's who he is. He's the
best running back in the league this year.
He's not the best rusher.
All right, I'll start us off in the NFC.
Josh Allen needs to win.
This is easy. No confidence. I have zero confidence in the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. He was number 1 overall pick, but they shouldn't even be here. Sorry. Kirk Cousins should be here. Anyway, Justin, who you got?
Of course, I gotta go with Bryce.
Calvin.
Same. That ain't even hard.
Calvin, who you got? Number 6.
Jordan Love, not playing well.
Woo!
Hasn't played in
Woo!
2 weeks. Coming
Yeah,
out of
MVP?
concussion. This offense is struggling, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't have any confidence in them. I don't think they're going to win this week. So,
Wow, that's your Super Bowl pick. I respect it. Look, man, got some good quarterbacks out there, but I agree with you. Right now, Sam Darnold. All right. I love the defense.
Okay, I'm about to go ahead. Do you think?
I love the defense, but when you say confidence, I can't say I'm confident in Sam Darnold. Go ahead, Justin.
I was going to echo the same exact thing. I still believe they will win a game or two.
Yeah,
based off of
if they win 2
everything
else.
Bowl. Well, they might, but it will not be because of Sam Darnold. It will be in spite of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's my guy.
Who you got at number 5?
Jordan goes here now.
All right. Sorry, I got a text. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about that. Caleb Williams. I've seen Jordan Love play well in the playoffs already. I like his weapons. Yeah, I Caleb Williams, great offensive, showing big plays and stuff like that. But I've seen him lose these like last 2 or 3 games where it's like he beat Green Bay in overtime. He did, but Jordan Love was gone. Like that took some sting off for me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Caleb Williams goes there for me. Calvin?
Sam Darnold, 5. I think they have a chance to win. I don't know if he will play a big factor.
Yeah, that's the key.
He can. I don't think he will. And Caleb next. I wanted to put Brock Purdy here, but head to head, I saw them go head to head, and I saw Brock Purdy outdo Caleb, and it was a high scoring game. Someone give Brock Purdy his respect. This team is banged up, but I do think I just go like, what happened if they kept Trey Lance? Like, we don't talk about that. They got lucky with finding Brock Purdy.
Yeah, they did. A lot of people didn't like Brock Purdy,
but Caleb right here, first playoff game too. So yeah.
Here's where I go with damn. Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. I'm gonna go Jordan Love here. Yeah. Again, I've seen him do some nice things early in his career, so that's good for him. Justin?
Does anyone know the status of Trent Williams heading to the playoffs?
I think he's playing.
He playing. They say they healthy pretty much.
Okay. I don't care. Brock Purdy, right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you got next?
This is get off the dead fence. So let's have some fun. Number 3, and I know what I'm doing, but put Jalen Hurts right there for me. Thank you. I don't have confidence.
This might be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Could be. It possibly could be.
I'm done. I don't even want to. What?
Has Jalen Hurts been Jalen Hurts this year? Not really.
This is the playoffs. Things get ratcheted up.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully Saquon can ratchet it up.
Let me look at your list real quick.
Yep.
You got more?
I sure do.
That's disrespect. I
sure do. Who's your number 3, sir?
That's disrespect at the highest order.
It was missing.
That's disrespect. Okay. All right. I'll go with Brock Purdy here.
All right.
Calvin?
Purdy.
Who's number two?
As much as I've talked about this guy all year long in the playoffs, he seems to be a different quarterback. I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
I'll go with Matthew Stafford. Justin?
He's going to shock a lot of people this upcoming playoff run. He made a believer out of me. I'm going with Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be phenomenal in his first stint. Out the gate.
And number
And
one
Matthew
for you
Stafford.
is Matthew Stafford.
No doubt.
The MVP?
Goes along with it.
Okay. My number one is the reigning Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts, who has played phenomenal in 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. And I think he's earned this top spot on my list. And I think they're going to do pretty well in the playoffs. Calvin, you got Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
All right. That's our quarterback list. Now let's go to defense. Justin, start us off.
Out
AFC.
of AFC. Who had the worst defense in the AFC right now headed into this game? I want to see the Chargers.
Defense wins championships.
Patriots are good. Denver's clearly good. Buffalo. That's crazy. I think Buffalo has the worst defense. Number 2, I'll say Pittsburgh. Number 3, I'm saving them 3. I'm saving them 4. I was out Chargers. Chargers, Jacksonville, Patriots, Broncos, Houston.
Houston number 1.
I think Houston has the best defense.
All right. I'm changing this on another screen. So do it again.
Lord.
7.
Pittsburgh. No. Yeah, it was Pittsburgh.
It was Buffalo.
It
6.
Is it still me?
Do all 6, all 7. I mean,
go the other way around. Go top bottom.
all right, go ahead.
Houston, Denver, Patriots, Jacksonville, Chargers,
Pittsburgh, Buffalo.
Calvin, who you got?
I got the same order. I just flipped New England. I'm sorry, I flipped Denver and Houston. So I got Denver 1, Houston 2. I think that pass rush is better. And they get to play. They're playing every game at home. I think that's an advantage for the defense.
I like Denver. No, I like Houston. Houston number 1. Houston number 1, Denver number 2. I like the Chargers defense. That's why I think they might upset New England this weekend. Chargers defense, I'm putting them at number 3. Then I'll go New England. And then I'll go Jacksonville, Buffalo. I think Buffalo's defense is underrated. And then I'll go.
They're terrible.
I think
Especially on the
secondary is very good.
They're bad on the road too. That's not a good. That's not a good combination.
We'll see. All right, that was cool. That's cool. Real quick, head coaches. Which coach do you have the most? Let's just do number 1. Most confidence in the AFC, Calvin. A lot of young teams.
Vrabel.
Never won anything, but you got the most confidence. That's cool. Justin.
Bills.
Oh, McDermott. Okay.
Yeah. This is time.
I think
To get fired?
honestly, I think Sean Payton has taken that Denver team and turned them around, and they found ways to win, man. And they sitting at the number 1 seed right now. I think you got to go to Denver and beat him in Mile High, and he's a champion. I like Denver. In the NFC, look, man, people criticize him, but at the end of the day, the man gets to the Super Bowl and he wins. Nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have the most confidence in him. I'm going with my man, the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan. He gets to the Super Bowl at least. He's a great coach. Calvin.
McVay.
Justin.
I agree.
I figured it. Easy chalk pick losers. Anyway, let's get back to it. All right, let's get into picking these games. Here we go. This Saturday, Chicago Bears and
First game.
Green Bay Packers kick off this wild card round. Jordan Love versus Caleb Williams for the third time. It should be exciting. It should be fun. Some say if Malik Willis will start, Green Bay might win. But this will be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, by the way.
A lot of people saying it. But will the Bears be able to pull one out? Calvin, you've already given us a little spoiler. You going with the Bears?
Even though it is very difficult to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, I think no Micah Parsons, Jordan Love is a little bit is better off that concussion. Didn't play last week. I just think the Chicago offense is just on a great roll. Playing at home, playing against a familiar team. I'm gonna go with Chicago, the better offensive team, the more talented team, in my opinion, to win this ball game at home. But I think this is only the third time they played in the playoffs. I got confidence in Chicago, that's why I'm going with this pick.
Justin, what you got?
Clearly, Caleb Williams is going to try to put on the show, and I think he's going to do it. I got Chicago, no questions.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears. I think
The Bears.
they have the better running game, and I think that's the key. A lot of people focusing on Caleb and everything, but I think their running game is really good. And the Packers defense is desperate. They went out, picked up Trayvon Diggs off the scrap heap. They just trying to make something happen because they've got a lot of injuries, man. And unfortunately, at this time of year, you can't have those injuries rearing that ugly head. And they just lost too many pieces. Going to Bears. Next up, San Francisco 49ers travel to Philadelphia. They take on the Eagles. The Eagles are defending Super Bowl champions at home. 49ers coming off of a disappointing loss to the Seattle Seahawks, where they could have clinched the number 1 seed. Instead, they're on the road traveling to Philly. Justin, who you got? Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts, 2 of your least favorite quarterbacks.
I had Hurts 3, so I'm going to go with Philadelphia by a field goal. I hope Saquon shows up, and I hope they exercise some demons. I hope they can hit the proverbial switch and actually turn into the Philadelphia that people want to see all season. They'll be okay against San Francisco. Barely.
What you think, Calvin?
I got San Fran. I think McCaffrey shows up. I don't know if Saquon shows up. I think this is the McCaffrey show. Purdy just does enough. They're getting healthy at the right time with Trent back. They're getting a receiving core back. Kittle is back. And now you have this 2-headed monster at tight end with Tungus as well in San Francisco. I like them to beat the Philadelphia.
I think that people saw that Seattle game and how they absolutely shut down Brock Purdy and this. I mean, Christian McCaffrey was an absolute non-factor. And if you think Seattle's defense is good, Philly's defense is just right there with them. I got the most confidence in this Philadelphia defense. Not even about the offense. They'll do just enough to get the win. Philly's defense will carry the day. I got the Eagles at home. Next up, the Los Angeles Rams travel to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Should we even ask? Anybody give the Panthers a fighting chance?
They beat
Calvin?
them in regular season
You give him a chance. You picking the
3 weeks ago. No,
You picking. All right.
No.
Okay. Justin, how about you?
Not at all.
They got some good DBs though. They do. Carolina has some good DBs, and if they can keep it close and run the ball,
And Bryce Young will fumble it away.
they beat them. Like you said, Cal, they did just beat them a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
This is the
and it was
playoffs.
an important game because that was how they lost the division, losing that game.
That's how they won the division. Oh, you talking about
The Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. No, I'm going with the Rams. Next up, the Jacksonville Jaguars travel. The Buffalo Bills travel to Jacksonville to take on Trevor Lawrence in the red hot Jaguars. The Jags have won a lot of games in a row. Trevor Lawrence has been sensational. I think got like 11 touchdowns, 1 turnover last several games here. The defense is playing lights out. Josh Allen, a little gimpy the last couple weeks. He sat out last week because to try to get a little healthy. James Cook won the rushing title, so I think they'll try to lean on the running game. It's a tough one, man. I think these are 2 evenly matched teams in many ways. I think it'll take a Herculean effort by Josh Allen. And I think the Bills are going to win on the road. I just think they're a team of destiny. I'm going with the Bills on the road to get the win. Calvin, who you got?
I got this as the game in which has the biggest blowout or biggest point differential by the winning team. I got Jacksonville. I think they win by 10, maybe even 2 touchdowns. This Buffalo defense, in my opinion, doesn't play well on the road. This is going to take a Herculean effort from Josh Allen. And actually, this Jaguars defense is pretty good. The offense has been playing pretty well as well. They just outmatched in my opinion. They're just outmatched. And I don't think this should go on Josh Allen when you don't have a team that's capable of competing in the playoffs. I got Jacksonville.
Justin, how about yourself?
I got Buffalo. I can't take that stance. I can't go as far as Calvin's going.
You'll be close.
Because if that's true, then Josh Allen really got to answer some questions in the offseason. But no, I believe Trevor Lawrence is the person that's going to be having to see himself in the mirror and see like what kind of quarterback does he want to be. I believe that their defense is they have a very good defense. They have a very good rushing game, especially this year. And I think Liam Cohen put the Jacksonville Jaguars in a great position. It's a lot of pressure that comes with all that. And Trevor Lawrence has yet to, unless he's playing against Justin Herbert, he has yet to live up to those expectations. And I don't think that this is going to be one of those games. This is not Justin Herbert. This is Josh Allen. Buffalo wins.
All right. Next up is Los Angeles Chargers travel to New England, take on the Patriots. Tough place to play. Patriots squandered that number 1 seed down the stretch. Just couldn't get enough victories. Get them over the hump. Outlast the Denver Broncos. I'm going with the upset special on the road. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers over the Patriots. I think the Patriots have been a good story, a good little story here. But I've examined this schedule, and the best win I can find was an early win over Buffalo where they snuck them early, and a good win over the Baltimore Ravens who just choked. They were up 11 in the 4th quarter and choked it away with Snoop Huntley as the quarterback. I really can't find a great win. And I just can't say that I'm confident that the Patriots will step up and get a victory. I heard the weather might be an impact, so that might change a little bit. But I think this is a Jim Harbaugh coach team. They want to run the football with Vital. They want to get a Mario Hampton involved. They want to kick this running game off, short passing game, Ladd McConkey. Those guys are going to be Quentin John. They're going to move the ball. And I think the legs of Justin Herbert is going to be a difference in this game. I'm going with the Chargers. Calvin.
I agree that this New England team doesn't have a pretty good victory this year. I think they'll beat the Chargers, and they still won't have a pretty good victory this year because the Chargers, I think, are overrated for the most part. This is a team that had a lot of success early on and kind of limped their way to the finish line. Thought they would more so compete for the division, and Denver kind of ran away with it late. I'm gonna give it to New England. I understand we've had concerns about their schedule, about who they play, but they've always been ready to play so far this year, and they've never given up, and they've always competed in each game. It's just a matter of them closing out that Buffalo game. We look at that schedule completely differently. So I think New England starts this playoff run with the victory at home against the Chargers.
Justin,
I 100% agree with that take. Drake May has the luxury of saying, Ramondre, please take this ball. Travion, please take this ball. And let them do what they need to do. I believe that their rushing game will carry them in this victory over the Chargers more so than Drake May leading his team. Now, he'll make timely plays. I do give him that. I think he is mature enough to not necessarily lose the game for him. But when you got two workhorses like that and then someone is explosive, as Henderson, you let them do what they're supposed to do, and then you hit Stephon and others when needed. But let's go with New England's rushing game in order to win this game.
next up, Monday Night Football, the final game of Wild Card Weekend. Houston Texans
What?
travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who were the Kings of the North by defeating the Ravens last week. Calvin, who you got?
Houston. The only thing that makes me have a little bit concerned, this is a night game in Pennsylvania or in Pittsburgh. Houston's a dome team, so they may be a little bit slower early on. Houston has the better defense. Houston has the better offense. Houston has the better quarterback, in my opinion. You can't point to a game recently in which Aaron Rodgers and his offense have played well against an opponent other than Baltimore. Houston's defense is arguably the best left in the playoffs. I don't see this game. I don't see that offense being able to do much against Houston. I got to win this matchup.
Justin, who you got?
Everything in my mind is saying go with Houston.
Go do what you do.
But goddamn it, Mike Tomlin win one playoff game for me, my guy. That's just how I feel. Like we got Aaron Rodgers who's healthy. DK's coming back. Calvin Austin is making plays. Just make enough plays to withstand this pass rush. Matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the best quarterbacks when it comes to an elite pass rush because he's seen it all. He's done it all. There's nothing's going to shock him when he steps on that field. Actually, if they were smart enough, they'll galvanize around that because this is where playoff experience matters. This is where all that it's now. It's here. It's now. And I'm talking myself into going with the Steelers to win this game. On the strength of Aaron Rodgers, not messing up, no turnovers, and just providing just enough to beat Houston.
This is Aaron Rodgers' worst nightmare.
Jesus.
This is his worst nightmare. A pass rush that can get home without blitzing. Like that's his worst nightmare. A pass rush that can rush for and
That's everybody's worst nightmare, though, right?
But it's Aaron Rodgers.
He's less mobile.
This coordination of Aaron Rodgers dump the ball off to the running backs, get Gainwell involved with the quick passing game. But if I don't have the blitz, I can drop back in coverage and keep that zone defense back there. You can't throw it to the flats. I'm gonna have a corner there. I'm gonna have a nickel out there. They rush for and get home. He can't extend plays to drive the ball down the field quickly. DK not gonna be able to beat him over the top. We've seen this movie. Aaron Rodgers' whole face mask was almost ripped off. Like it was bad. Remember his head bounced off the ground and he looked like he was about to retire that night. Like we saw what they did to Josh Allen. We saw what this team has been killing quarterbacks. Yeah, this might get ugly. You saw what they did to Patrick Mahomes. Good God. Nah, I'm sorry, guys. The dream is over. Tomlin, you got one extra week. Sorry, you're going home. And they might be thinking about, you might quit. You might say, I can't get it done here. I'm sorry. You might just say, hey, I'll go coach the Giants. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? I'll do it. At least they got a quarterback. Like, you hitching your wagon to Aaron Rodgers next year, too? This is it. We can do a postmortem for the first Steelers next week right here on the show. And just say, hey, it was a good run. Harbaugh and Tomlin go out together,
You're right.
baby. It is what it is. Let's go on to college football before we get out of here. The Final Four is here. Man, last week, just upset city. Ole Miss beats Georgia. Whew. Who saw that coming? Miami? Well, we kind of saw them whooping ass. I mean, look. Alabama has been frauds all year. It is what it is. Happened. Indiana looked like the best team in football. Ohio State, done, gone, out of here. Calvin, what was your biggest upset from the past week?
Probably Ole Miss over Georgia. Like, this Ole Miss team with rotating coaches, the defensive coordinator for LSU coaching them, they really decided to just show that they could still play football. And while they were the 6th ranked team in the nation, so Ole Miss really surprised me against Georgia, and it was a tough back and forth game against an opponent who's a perennial powerhouse. So I give all credit to Ole Miss. They really opened my eyes about what they can do, especially facing so much adversity.
Justin, what was your biggest upset last week?
I wouldn't necessarily call it an upset. It was just like it was a slight surprise. Indiana and Alabama. I mean, when I saw this, Alabama, for me, like it's hard not to look at Alabama and think of years past of having the most elite athletes on the field. True. And when Indiana just ran up and down the field with them, I was like, it was more of a Alabama has a long way to go to get back to what they were. And I got to start showing a lot of love and a lot of respect for Indiana to where they at right now. And I was like, well, how they getting all this money? But then I realized Mark Cuban and others are alumni there. So that's the question you got to ask now. Like, how are some of these teams getting these phenomenal athletes like that? Hey,
but he also brought a lot of transfers with him when he came from, I think he was at James Madison, the coach. So it's not like, he already had a lot of these ballers, and he was like, when he got the job, everybody went with him. So that continuity is good for that as well. And now he might. There's been a lot of rumors that if you Vegas, why not draft him first and let Kennedy be the head coach, hire him out there at the Raiders. They can come as a quarter like Dion and his son type of deal. Like we both come in package deal, and then you get quarterback coach out there, start something in Vegas. That might be something to look at. But I think he's building something in Indiana, man. Indiana was a basketball school, but now, damn, they looking good, man. And Oregon, I don't think this will be an easy game, but I think Indiana's the favorite. I'm going with Indiana in that matchup. Calvin, who you got?
Yeah, this is going to be a rematch from them matchup early in the year in Eugene, and Indiana won. So I think they're the best team in the nation. They have the best quarterback. They have the best coach by far. So I'm gonna go with Indiana. I think this is the national championship game, though. In my opinion, whichever team wins is going to win the national championship. I'm going Indiana.
Justin,
Indiana as well. Just on the fact that I think they're just a more complete and better team than Oregon right now.
Very good defense, man. Very good defense. All right, Ole Miss and the U, man. Michael Irvin. This guy. This guy, man. Yo, he is hilarious, man. I'm like, yo, when he took off his belt and started being.
Yeah, he did that last week too. He did that. I mean, not last week. He did that against A&M. So
the first week at home. Yeah.
That's his thing.
He just over the top, man. He's hilarious. Down on all fours. Like I said, when they move the ball this way, I move a little bit to the left too. I'm like, bro, shut up, yo. He's hilarious. Who you got, Justin?
Those that don't know, I am a U fan. Been trying to get them to get to this point all year. They hit a little gap towards the mid to late season. Shout out to Notre Dame and those others that don't have a conference because they was like, well, we need some ACC team or whatever to get in there. So we took it. And we ain't looked back since. So I'm going to go and continue to go with that. Seriously, though, Miami has one of the best defenses in college football, period. And we're relying on that because Carson Beck is not the best quarterback. He's not. But he's not turning the ball over. And if he does that, he plays a clean game and let the defense do what the defense does because they are all over the place. We probably got at least 4 to 5 first rounders easy on this defense alone. Let them do what they're supposed to do, and we'll take care of Ole Miss.
What you got, Calvin?
Yeah, I got Miami as well. We talk about Ruben Bain a lot, but we don't talk about the guy on the other end, Akeem. I think it's like Mestador, something like that. The other defensive end, they have the best defensive line in the country. And I think when they decide to get after their quarterback, it's very few quarterbacks, very few offensive lines that can stop them. They're on a mission as well. I'm going with Miami. This is where the Cinderella story for Ole Miss ends.
I mean, I get it. Miami's probably better defensively, like you all said. And nobody had Ole Miss getting this far, but it would be a hell of a story if they won. It would be a hell of a story. Your coach quit on you, leave you for dead. They still put you into college football. And this is the thing that pissed me off about Lane Kiffin, what he did. Man, you got every right in the world to go out there, take a job, whatever. But you had a team that was potentially, that you knew was in contention to be in the playoffs. That's the goal, right? That is the goal, to get a team playoffs and possibly win a national title. And you felt that you could not win with this particular school, or you coveted the LSU job so much that you dropped these players, you dropped these kids that you went and recruited, whose living rooms you went into and told their parents that you was going to be there for them, take care of them, and you dropped them before y'all even get to the bowl, and they go out there and ball out and do this thing and possibly put themselves in a chance one game away from a national championship. That would be a hell of a story. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be great to see. Just the fact that they're in the Final Four without a head coach. Look, Lane, you could have took that job. They could have waited longer. I get it. You need to be ready for National Signing Day and all that kind of stuff, but finish out the job, man. Finish the job.
Man,
and then
kids, man.
Yeah, no reason.
That's what he said. Yo,
it's Ole Miss. They are a great school. Anyway, I'm going national title game, Indiana, Miami, which I would have never guessed at the beginning of the year. Indiana and Miami. That's wild. No Ohio State, no Alabama, no Michigan, no. Like, what? Like, just looking at these 4 schools on my screen right now, like, this is wild, man. Yeah, but we'll see. At the end of the day, I think Indiana wins the national title. It is what it is. They're the best team in the country. Anybody dispute that?
No.
What was that?
Who's your national champion?
Miami.
Oh, we know Indiana winning now, for sure. All right.
Can't argue that one.
But anyway, that's all I have for us football tonight. We got a little time. Any basketball topics y'all want to touch on quickly before we get out of here?
Trae Young is a wizard. Yeah, Trae Young is a wizard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I heard his list was like Brooklyn and
I heard it was just Washington.
He wanted to go to Washington. I mean, they got a good young roster.
I don't see how they didn't get any draft picks, but that's typical Wizards, in my opinion.
What'd they get?
What did Atlanta get? CJ and something.
Corey Kispert.
Corey Kispert. There we go. So Trae gonna get 30 shots a game.
That's a weird trade.
I really thought Houston was going to do a little bit more in order to try to show up that point guard situation. But
you thought they were going to trade with Trae Young?
They have the type of team that they can cover his defensive ailments.
I thought
everybody 6'8" to 7 feet on that team. That usually helps.
They're a Derek White team, in my opinion. If it ever happens, they're trying to get further under the salary cap, under the salary penalty threshold.
Real quick,
luxury tax. There we go.
Who y'all favorite for NBA MVP right now?
It's probably Shea, because I don't know if Jokic's going to get the games now.
No, I think he's depending on how long this is, and then you got to think he's not going to play out every single game after he comes back from his injury. He's probably more likely than out. Yeah, he's going to be out.
I think Shea.
I think Shea.
I got Jalen.
Yes, I got Jalen Brunson.
I thought he was going to say Jalen.
He got enough headlines. Absolutely. He's been balling. I'm not even gonna knock that. Like I said, that whole Jason Tatum thing is real. Like, I think he's coming back quicker than what people think. And Boston will be a threat in the playoff once they get to that point. However, JB's been balling. He's been doing it on a national stage. He did it in the NBA Cup for whatever reason that matters. He did it. And yes, I think Shea could be a victim of. I'm not going to give it to you back to back. Some voters feel like that. And the Thunder aren't as all-time great, dominant as they were when they first got out the gate. So, I mean, he got a shot. Jalen has a shot.
He got a shot, man. I respect that. But yeah, I was talking about Jaylen Brown. I him.
I want to get that clear. I was talking about that clear.
I know.
Making sure.
I like Brunson too. I was just messing with him. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good season so far. I've been enjoying it. Some different games tonight. So full slate, man. Boston lost to Denver without Jokic. I want to see what happened with that. I recorded it, so we'll go back and watch. Other than that, nothing really to touch on football this weekend. I'm still pissed off about the Ravens, as you all heard from the first hour, but we'll see. I'm still a Ravens fan, guys. I know some people tell, oh, you ain't no Ravens fan no more. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm a realist, though. Okay? I always say I take stability over just knee-jerk decisions. I'm a San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich forever. I like stability at the top. And I've seen too many franchises who fire a coach and then they just fishing for too long. And that can get you hurt, man. That can get you hurt. Some of the best teams, they have stability at the top. We'll see what the Ravens are able to do, hopefully hope for the best for the next hire. And, I mean, I agree with you. Sometimes you find a coordinator out there who just has something that you maybe didn't see coming. Shit, John Harbaugh was not like a top. But we'll see. This story won't be written right away. And I just want to temper Ravens fans' expectations. If you think we're just going to win the Super Bowl next year, I think you might just want to calm it down. The Ravens have a lot bigger fish to fry than just who's the head coach. They need to fix this pass rush and get this offensive line shored up. That's my final thoughts on that. Calvin, any final thoughts?
No, don't expect to hear about a new head coach for a couple of weeks. That's all I got. I think it's going to be a longer process. I think they rushed it. I think this started to be a power struggle between Bisciotti and Harbaugh, and this is what we end up with. So,
just any final thoughts?
Anytime that you have a team that breaks a all-time record, you got to show them some kind of love. So we're going to give some love to the New York Jets for not getting one goddamn interception since the league has been in creation since 1933. So it's been that long. A team has not got a goddamn interception, and the head coach was a defensive back himself. So shout out to all those people that want defense for your guy for the Ravens. That does not mean it's going to correlate to that goddamn team of yours. That's all I'm saying.
It's a great point. That's a great point. You got to have the groceries, baby, if you want to get certain things done. Anyway, that's it for us tonight. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back next week recapping everything from Wild Card Weekend, getting you ready for the divisional round. And we'll have more time to get into some NBA in depth. And we'll be back right here for Calvin, Justin. I'm Larry. We'll see you next week right here. Get off the damn fence.